If you ever look at Amiga games, one of the games that comes up is Shadow of the Beast, along with Another World and Lemmings. The original Amiga game by Psygnosis and Reflection is known for excellent graphics for a game that came out in 1989. It really showed off what the Amiga could do, and it did prove that the Amiga was more powerful than its competitor, the Atari ST. With Psygnosis, there's actually a lot to talk about. Too much for this video, but they're most remembered for Lemmings and the Wipeout games. Anyways, Electronic Arts or EA made a deal with Psygnosis to port many of their Amiga games to the Sega Genesis. Kinda like Interplay with Another World. Anyway, Shadow of the Beast was one of those games that got ported to the Genesis. So let's just get to the game. But first, let's talk about the box art. This is the box art to the game. All Electronic Arts games on the Genesis have this unique design, and honestly, I still wish EA did this today because it looks cool. The actual artwork right here is from the original Amiga game. It was done by Roger Dean. Right here is just, a bit more of a standard spine. This is the Psygnosis logo, and this is Electronic Arts or EA Sega Genesis. Now, one thing about EA was apparently they were an unlicensed developer initially. They made their own box art and their own unique cartridges. However, Sega sued them, and I can't remember the exact details. I can't remember if EA won or if they just settled out of court, but eventually it ended favorably for EA, and eventually Sega just gave them official licenseship, but they still manufactured their own cartridges and box design. On the back here, it's just some description about like 8 megs of ultimate compression memory, 13 levels, which I'm not exactly sure if there are 13 levels. I can't feel like it was 8 or something, but anyways. Again, Psygnosis logo, one-player game, 16-bit cartridge. There can only be one master. Okay, enough for the stupid voice. 132 hideous monsters animated in Psygnosis quality graphics, which is, Psygnosis is known for quality graphics. I don't know if there's quite 132. I didn't really count, but it doesn't feel that high. It doesn't seem that high when playing the game. Anyway, let's just open the box here, and what was interesting is I was able to get a lot when I ordered this game. Again, this is what the cartridge looks like. The label is a bit worn off a little on the top. I have no idea what this does. It wiggles a little bit, and it looks like mine, I don't know if you can really see that, but it looks like some of the circuitries come off, unless it was always like that. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, again, it's different than a standard Genesis cartridge. But what was interesting was that I got the manual. Although one thing was that all of the box is in nice condition. For some reason, the insides don't, like, all the grips have broken off, unless it's always been like that. I don't know. It's just everything kind of flops around in there. So this is the manual. It even describes a story with this kind of cool painting here. Essentially, the story is that some young boy was kidnapped when he was very young. He eventually was transformed into some type of beast and was brainwashed and had all his memories erased. And he served the Beast Lord for like several years. And eventually, he regained all his memories. And then he decided to go on a bit of a revenge quest. Anyway, that's the basic story. I don't know if I did a very good job describing that, but anyway, it's very typical here. It lists some other games you can get from EA on the back, like King's Bounty, The Immortal, Populous. What's weird is there's one game called Robocod, and then the one over here is called James Pond. I'm assuming it's referring to James Pond 2 Robocod, but anyway. But what's even cooler is that this straight up came with a poster. Isn't this cool or what? Well, this is kind of cool, but what's even cooler, or even maybe kind of dumber, is that when you turn around, it just becomes an advertisement for other EA games on the Genesis. These are some of their sports games. There's even John Madden Football. Yeah, John Madden was originally on the Genesis, although it was also on the PC, but anyway. A lot of games here are ports from the PC games, and some are ports from other companies. There's another Psygnosis game being advertised called Fatal Rewind. I think it was called The Killing Game Show on the Amiga. There's Marble Madness. Here's a PC port, again, Populous. I'm not sure which ones are exactly PC ports and which ones are like original games. I just know a good chunk of them are PC ports. I'm assuming Road Rash was original, it wasn't a PC port. I know James Bond 1 and 2 here weren't... James Pond, sorry, were it was not their games. It was like from someone else. I can't remember the exact developers and publishers of the original. Anyway, it is kind of a cool relic from the time. And anyways, let's just get to the game. The first thing you'll notice about this game is the graphics. They are a bit rough and have less color than the original Amiga version, but this port has all of the cool layers of scrolling. Also, the art style is just cool. There are many uniquely designed enemies. Many Psygnosis games look like this. Unfortunately, the port goes downhill from here. The music was awesome in the original Amiga version. The music in this port is terrible. The compositions are nice since they're based on the original Amiga game, but not only are the instrument qualities very poor, but for some reason the music is sped up. I mean, listen to this. Also, well, the developers kind of forgot to put in a punching sound effect when you hit the enemies. However, remember when I said that the original game was known for its graphics? Well, let's just say it's not known for its gameplay. As you might have seen, your attacks don't have much reach and enemies fly at you. It's very easy to take damage. Now, you have a beefy life bar and this is something you can get used to a little, but what makes it so bad is that not only do you have one life, but you have very few chances to get your health back. You do get a few weapons throughout the game, but they're only temporary, and the game makes sure to counter this to keep the difficulty up. What makes this worse is that, like Another World, you need a guide to figure out what to do. Some of these levels can branch out, and if you don't do the right thing, you can end up with a dead game. It doesn't help that the game is designed to appear open, but you need to complete it linearly. However, even with all of this, the game only takes 20 minutes to beat. The game is all memory, and even if you get a low explorative, you will die in this game. And even if you're willing to put up with all of this or use cheats in a guide, this is what you get for beating the game. Screw this game. If you really want to play this, just play the original Amiga version. This one for a while was probably the more accessible version, but the original Amiga version was included in the 2016 remake. Yeah, just don't bother with this. At least this version.